I broke a nail. If things like this make you queasy, then look away. Out working. These are my real nails. It was just hanging on by a little bit. But I did. I sure did. I broke it off. My husband teases me about, oh, she broke a nail. But this can be really painful when you break it off in the quick like this. I'm going to give it a quick wash. And use a disinfectant on it. Now it'll be tender for a few days until that quick heals up some. So I'll just have to watch it when I'm out there working so that I don't re-injure it. I'm going to put comfrey salve on it. This is an instance when I would use comfrey salve. And I may even put a Band-Aid on it to just protect it. And hopefully that'll heal up. I'm going to put one of these fingertip bandages here. There we go. That'll hinder me washing my hands a little bit. And while I'm in here, I'm just going to take a minute and go ahead and reapply my sunscreen. Doesn't have to be expensive, just has to be a good sunscreen. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I'm going to go back outside and I'm going to continue to work in the garden. I want to make sure I've got that sunscreen on. I mean, that heat is bearing down. That sun. If you watch my channel, you know I always try to keep the sunscreen on. And look at the back of my hands. As you age, you get these like age spots. I've never before really put it on the back of my hands, and you can tell because I have these age spots. But now I'm even starting to put it here on the back of my hand. That's a thin place where the sun hits, and it's just a good idea to do that. Now I like to clean this off before I close it up. How do you like my fancy jar here? That's a recycled jar that I just keep these little pads in. Of course, they stay in the closet. They're not out on the counter, but even if they were, that wouldn't be a bad container to put these in, would it? Just take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, spray it on there, and I like to just wipe the top of my sunscreen or any of my lotions or anything. I just like to keep the top of this really clean. I'll keep the sunscreen out so I can put it on the babies when they get here. We go outside and play. I had to run to Walgreens real quick to pick up. I thought there was a prescription there. They had called my husband and told him there was a prescription at Walgreens. But when I got there, they didn't have it ready. So I told them I would pick that up tomorrow. But I did pick up a few things for the babies, for my little grandkids. I got this badminton set. I don't know if y'all played this when y'all were growing up, but I think it's a fun game. It's a good thing to get outside and get moving. So I picked this little thing up. I got this for all of them because they all love to spell things, but especially for my youngest little grandson. And I got 3 of these. They actually said they were going to discontinue these. They were going to quit selling them at Walgreens, or the particular Walgreens right here beside of my house. I picked up 3 of them. And I told him he should rethink that, because I think these drinks right here are selling a lot. I know a lot of people that have picked up drinking these. But anyway, I picked up 3 of those for the rest of the day. I also went to Goodwill. I wanted to get a shot of me in there picking these things out, but it was crowded and the music was loud. It's the first of the month, so that Goodwill was packed. This is what I got. Got this little basket. It was $2 full of blackberries. I love blackberries. I've got to clean that up a little bit, but I thought it was cute. It's a handmade basket full of little blackberries. I got a cup with a D on it. That will fit me or my husband. You can see I've got my stuff in this bag because Goodwill has quit using plastic bags. You now either have to buy a vinyl bag, or in this case I was already purchasing this bag, so I just used it. I got these 2 little pumpkin dish towels. I thought they were a little pricey, but they were $2. But I just went ahead and picked them up. There are 2 of those. I mean, we can buy them new for this, right? But they did look new, and I'll put these in the fall stuff, and then, you know, that I won't have to buy any for fall. I'll just use these and the ones that I already have stored up. And so I picked that up. I got this coffee cup. It's a Pioneer Woman. I just liked it. I liked the way it felt, and I liked the look of it. Let's see, what else did I get? Just this blue and white vase. It was $6. Originally, it was $12 at, I'm not sure, it doesn't say where, but it was $12 from some store. Maybe the Dollar General. That kind of looks like a Dollar General tag. I don't know. But it was $6 there. So it's long and skinny. I didn't have anything shaped like that. You know, I love blue and white in here. So I just thought I would pick that up and add it to what I already have. And, you know, you can't go wrong with the classics. And then I got this blue and white towel. This towel was $2. Oh, it was only $1. That's funny. It's $1 for this big towel. These little ones were $1 each. But I got that, and I thought, you know, I can use that in the summer with the kids out around the little kiddie pool and stuff. So I picked that up, and that's it. That's all I picked up today while I was out. And then, of course, I got out here working, and then I broke my nail and had to come in and take care of that little injury. But it's absolutely beautiful outside. There are some things that are blooming. I'm going to take you out there real quick and show you. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. It got up to 82 degrees yesterday, so it's got pretty hot. The peonies are blooming. I wanted to show you that, how pretty they are. I've got this little bunch right here, and then on further back in the garden, there's a bunch back there. The clematis are beautiful. They have really popped out and bloomed. Big, beautiful, robust blossoms. Really pretty. These usually bloom for quite a while. They look pretty in a garden today. The roses are still blooming. They're looking gorgeous. This pink rose is still blooming. It's got quite a few blooms on it. Quite a few buds still left on it to open up. That is just beautiful. I am enjoying this pink rose. This is the first time it's bloomed in a long time. It's a climbing rose. It's an heirloom climbing rose. And of course it blooms on canes that are 2 years old. And Donald had cut it down to the ground, and I didn't know if it would come back in bloom or not. The canes grew last year, and the blooms are here this year. So that is really, really pretty. Enjoying that this year. The strong winds that took down the jasmine and the really long canes that were on this peace rose right here. You know, the winds broke that whole trellis and everything down. But that peace rose came back. The jasmine did not come back this year. And here is that old trellis. You can see it was broken off down at the bottom and had rusted some down there. But this trellis is right here. And I am going to reuse this trellis on that pink rose bush. That's right here. So I'll be reusing this trellis on this pink rose bush right here. And the roses are looking great. They're looking gorgeous. Everything is so pretty. Remember, they've got these knockout roses for $12.88 at Home Depot. That's what they are at our Home Depot. Mother's Day is coming up. If you want to give a really beautiful flower that'll keep giving every year, you can't go wrong with these knockout roses. They are beautiful. And of course, there's the heirloom roses. You can see them against the house. They are looking really pretty against the color of the house. So they're making a show. They won't bloom for very long. They won't bloom near as long as these knockout roses. These knockout roses right here will bloom all the way up until fall. The heirloom roses, they'll be over here probably by June. By June, you probably won't see any more of these climbing roses that are right here. Here is the perennial herb garden. Let me go ahead and pull up this sow thistle. It's blooming, and I do not want it to go to seed in my garden. The rabbits love it, but I am not going to just let it take over and grow any way it wants to. I've got to pull that out. So I'll give that to the rabbits today, and we won't let it grow. I've still yet got to get out here and clean the stalks off of the oregano. So there's quite a bit of work to be done out here. The comfrey, it is just blooming and sprawling out right there. I just put comfrey salve on my finger. That's what I use this comfrey for. It's beautiful. I love the blooms on it. I love the properties of this herb in particular for salves and for comfrey oil. Sometimes you don't need a salve, but the oil works great. Hidden over here is a beautiful clematis. It's the Nellie Moser clematis. I have several of those. I love the consistent way they bloom and the beautiful color and the size of the beautiful blooms that this Nellie Moser clematis has. So that's why I have several of these. For me, they're really easy to root. I need to root a few more of these. But they are beautiful. I'll show you more of them on the other side. Right here is a peony that I have on this side. And we barely ever see this beautiful peony. So my daughter will be digging this up and taking it and putting it in her garden. And it has quite a few blossoms. Quite a few blooms on it this year. It hasn't opened up quite yet. I was hoping she would get it before it opened up. But that's okay. She can get it whenever she gets to it. Now here, this beautiful clematis, it grows up this wall little trellis that Donald put here. We're going to have to change that out. That we need a new trellis there. And it has decided to jump over here to the tree, which I don't think is too great for this tree, because half of it has a few limbs that are dying out on this tree, so we'll have to take those off. But you can see the huge blooms on this clematis. I've got my drink in my hand. Let me set it down for a minute, and look how big this blossom, this bloom on this clematis, this Nellie Moser clematis. It's as big as my hand. Here is my hand, and here is this bloom. And you can see how big that clematis is. Now this one's been here for quite a while. It was planted to go up this trellis, but it did not stay on the trellis. It just leaned over here and got onto this tree. So we'll have to clean that up and straighten that out. Look in this perennial herb garden. It is absolutely beautiful. It's the sage. Sage is one of my favorite herbs. Well, we had to come in because the grandbabies got here. My grandchildren, they're not babies. They're 12, 9, and 5 today, what came today. So we're making eggs. I have a lot of eggs, so we're going to have eggs for kind of like lunch. We're going to have hot dogs that were previously grilled, and we're just rolling them around, heating them up. And a friend of ours brought us strawberries. Look at these beautiful things. It is the season for fresh strawberries, and she was going right by the farm, and that's what we're having. So we're having eggs, hot dogs, and strawberries for lunch. And Madeline is in here with me, and she just had some strawberries. Say, I got some strawberries on my mouth. They were so good. Yeah, so one of the strawberries is one of her favorite foods. I did not get to show you the beautiful sage out front. It was beautiful. I'll have to show you that in another garden tour outside when I get some of the other perennial herbs that I bought. When I put them into the garden, then I will show you the beautiful sage that's blooming out there today. We're going to go and have lunch, and then I can share with you the seeds that I've got going on in the back.